In this section, we're going to discuss pulling out the GCF when you're unable to just stare at it and know what the GCF is. So first I would ask you to determine what kind of a polynomial it is. Since this is a trinomial, we're going to make 3 rows with these terms. We're going to make their prime factorization. You may have remembered doing a factor tree with some of these numbers. 5 is prime though, so we're good. 10 is 2 times 5, those are the prime numbers. 10 is composite, so I crossed it out. And 15 is 3 times 5, so those are the prime numbers. Again, I'm going to cross out the composite number. So that tells me if I'm going to write 5x squared y to the third as its prime factorization, it would look something like that. And then a trick for whenever a number has a negative, you can just throw a -1 out front. Again, 2 times 5 are the prime numbers for 10, and I'm going to expand out my letters. And then finally 3 times 5 and a y. When I want to get the GCF, I'm looking for what's in common to all 3. So there's a set of 5's in there. I'm going to cross it out and take it out. There's a set of y's in there, so I'm going to cross it out and take it out. If on your assessment you were asked to give the GCF, you would stop there. If I asked you to factor out the GCF, you're going to look for what remains. So in the first row, there's an x and an x, a y and a y. That's x squared, y squared. In the second row, there's a -1, a 2, an x and a y. Multiplying all those together, you get -2xy. In the last row, you have a +3. So notice how I wrote +3. What I have boxed in this blue box is factor out the GCF. And notice that I left the leftovers in parentheses. A couple things that you might want to check is that what's inside the parentheses has the same amount of terms as the original problem. Notice that this is a trinomial, and notice that the original problem is a trinomial. The other thing you might want to do is distribute to check. So remember, when you multiply the coefficients and add the exponents. So that would be 5x squared, and then 1y and 2 more is going to be 3y's. -10 and x and 2y's. And 15 with the y. If that matches the original problem, we're pretty sure we were right. Good luck on this section.